Peace. This is a Meat and Potato Sorcery production starring myself, the Water Alchemist, and today's topic for the occult family is the left hand path and the pathway to war. Now, with everything that's going on with the so called approval rating of Joe Biden, how do you get that rating to increase? You have to have a war. You have to. This has happened with many presidents, George Bush Jr. and beyond. If you ever want something where you can make money and this can serve as a distraction, you got to have a war. And it's not going to be no different in this case because this country is going to go to war again because there's too many things that's happening. We already know that there's a food shortage, but this food shortage was orchestrated. This was done purposely. They've learned this, whether it's been in Germany or whether it's been in Russia, but it's already been instigated. So when you're dealing with the left-hand path, it's very important not to subscribe to emotionalism. And what I mean by that is that sometimes people can do certain things to tug at your heartstrings. Like when you have all these killings, the first thing, the automatic thing is it's going to pull at you, your heartstrings, because you may have lost a child or a sibling or even a friend. So in your mind, you feel like we need tougher laws. They want you to say that. We need gun control. They want you to say that because the whole thing is if they do this, then they're really going to oppress you 25 hours a day. And we know there isn't 25 hours, but they're going to make it be that way. So this is something that you need to know when you're practicing the left hand path. Don't subscribe to all that because they engage in manipulation techniques. So if you want to be someone that is good at affecting the psyche of people and engaging in manipulation, work with King Paimon. He can do that. If you want to be persuasive with your language, you can work with Ronoff or Ronway. And even you can work with angels. But the key is that when you're doing this, the more you're working with them, it's very important because spirits, when you form a link with them, they're going to start coming to you with qualitative information to prepare you. This happened a few days ago with Anubis. I asked Anubis, would he help me with stellar magic? Stellar magic basically is where you can draw energy from different dimensional planes and from the celestial stars and constellation. And Anubis is like, yeah, I'll help you with that. And I was on his radar for a little bit, but because I stuck with magic, he started to take an interest because sometimes spirits and gods, they'll wait because they want to see what your character's like, especially in stressful times. Hint. So they want to see what your character is like. How do you handle hardship? Do you cry? Do you sulk? Do you just say, I'm going to quit and run back to church? Because we know if a war is coming, what happened with 9/11? People joined the military based off of a lie. They were talking about, oh, this is a war against terrorism and, rabid Islam. First and foremost, Saddam Hussein was an atheist. He was not a Muslim. Then people were running back to church because the number one thing that Reverend Pancake is always going to pull out is the book of Revelation. And these are the end times. But it's not the end times as long as, the collection plate is being passed around. So Anubis said that he would help me with that. Also Hermes. So the thing is, gods will start coming to you. So it's very important that you don't get distracted by what's going on because either they're going to have this distraction either while the celebrity or what's going on. And this leads me to Elon Musk because now they have the brain implants. And the thing is, tugging at your heartstrings. Oh, well, we'll do this and it'll help with your memory and it'll neutralize Alzheimer's and dementia. See, anytime that they do something, overall, this is how the sociopath thinks. It's really for your greater good. But he left out this one thing, though. He said in doing this, this will also serve as a weapon towards artificial intelligence. You mean the artificial intelligence that you are relying on, and how these computers now have created their own coding, their own language, and are building other machines. They're building a vanguard, their own vanguard. You can look right here. You won't have to look all the way over in China. So the key with the left-hand path is responsibility juxtaposed with liberation. Liberation of the self. That means that if something don't work out, you can't blame it on Jesus. And if something good happens, you really can't say that much about Jesus either, because I don't get into the whole thing is, do you think he's real, this, that, and the other. I don't get into the whole, is he an ascended master or is he an egregore? I don't get into that. But what I do get into is magic. Because J.P. Morgan is trying every way possible to neutralize gold and silver. So spirituality is going to do it. Because if they have the gun control or whatever, yeah, you'll have some ghost guns or things floating around, because there'll always be a way. But what neutralizes any revolution is people who are cowards. That's neutralized. That's been since Denmark Vesey. So that's not going to stop. So that is really the left-hand path. And also, if you want to work with somebody that's going to do some real quick results to raise your alchemy, work with Thoth, because Thoth or Tahuti has a dark alchemical side as well. So that's another person that you may want to work with. So with that, that is your meat and potato sorcery for the day. I am the Water Alchemist. Be water, my friends. Peace.